Hi there, I'm going to show you how to make this, a cute little mug rug. I've designed this pattern just for you. It's a 4th of July themed mug rug and you can get the free downloadable pattern in the description box down below. The link is going to send you to my website where you're going to be able to click on it and you're going to be able to download the pattern. So you're going to get this pattern, which is the actual design, and you're also going to get a set of written instructions. Before we get started on making this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video. You can use whatever colours you like. I've pretty much gone with red, blue and white for being patriotic, as well as a gold colour for the stars. Now, because I was using white on the hat, I didn't want to have a white background for my actual coaster, so I have decided to use a creamy colour or an off-white, just something that isn't white, so when you do your white strips, they're going to stand out. So I have the front and the back sections of my mug rug all cut out to the dimensions that I need it to be, and I'm having my front the same colour as my back, and also I have a piece of batting as well, because this is just basically going to be a mini quilt. I'm just going to put this to one side. This is going to be my binding section here. I've done it like red, so I'm going to do this one blue, and I might change up some of the hat here. Now we are going to take the pattern. If this is easier for you to take to a window or to a light box to do, then you can do that. I am able to see through the pattern with my heat and bond, so I can do this straight onto my table. Another thing to bear in mind is that this pattern is going to be reversed. So if you want to do it so it looks like this, you will have to do it from the back, and then you will have to do it from a light source or from the window. I'm going to just do it this way round. And another thing that is really good to do is number these. So I'm going to number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you just know which number goes where. So I am going to start tracing my design. Now I'm going to do the brim first. And you want to trace each section. And when I do the brim, I come a little bit over. So I am going to go all the way around. And then I am going to find this. I go a little bit over the line than I have to, because I need to think about all of these fabrics overlapping. And then I'm going to find my next part. And I am going to trace that. And then I'm going to find my next part and trace them. Now don't forget, you want to do all of these individually, and I go a little bit over again the design. So this section here is going to go slightly underneath here. I'm going to move that over and I'm going to trace like so. I'm going to do another one. My paper's a little bit crinkly, which is making it a little bit more difficult. And I'm just going to number these so I know which ones these are all supposed to be. And then I'm going to trace the top. And then I'm going to trace each of the stars. You don't have to be precise, they're just guidelines. That's my iron. Let's get one of them irons that doesn't shut off so quickly. And there we go. That is all the design traced. So you want to take each of these sections. So when I said that I did a little bit over, so instead of tracing it right on this line here, I traced it a little bit under, and a little bit under, and a little bit under there, and a little bit under there. And I also gave me some allowance up here as well. And also with the rim, I went a little bit over here. So when I put this part on, it's going to cover it. So you want to just think about how you're going to place your applique and things being behind other things. And you'll see in a minute when I start to build it. So now you're left with all these sections of heat and bond. I want you to rough cut out each of these. And it's always good not to do any of these too close to each other, because you want to have that glue sticking down all of your fabric, and it helps to prevent fraying when you just make sure you have a little bit over. So you see I'm not cutting on any lines yet. I'll cut all of these out. And really you don't have to be totally precise when you're tracing any of these out. And there we go, that's everybody cut. Now you have to decide what colour you want everything to be. I'm going to go a little bit opposite with this. For the rim here, I am going to make this red, and I'm going to make this here blue. I'm going to make all these blue bits red, and anything that's red blue. This here is the brim of the hat, and I am just going to attach it to this red fabric. Now this is going to adhere to the fabric. And then you can just cut away. At this point I still rough cut. I've got these two sections to go as red, so I'm just gonna adhere this. You won't need any steam for this, just press it and it's good. Just follow the instructions of the heat and bond. Now these sections are blue. This is the top of the hat. This is like the border that goes around the middle. These two sections are bright white. And these stars I'm going to do in a mustard colour. I'm not going to cut all the sections yet. I'm going to take it step by step just in case I need to make adjustments to any of the pieces. Like now I've got enough fabric to be able to change that. So I'm going to keep these all uncut, and I'm just going to start with the rim of my hat. So I'm going to cut out here around the line for the rim. And here we go, here's the first section complete, and as you can see I haven't quite cut on this line. I'm just going to see how it looks. So I have made this mug rug portrait, and one thing I want you to bear in mind when you're working on your mug rug is not to have anything too close to the sides, because we have a binding section that's going to come over and I don't want that to interfere with the design. So I'm going to place my rim, and it's going to be about an inch from the bottom, an inch to about an inch and a quarter. In order to take this heat and bond off the back of the fabric, just take a pin and just score along, and this will create a section for you to be able to peel it off really quick and easily. So we just peel all that off the back there, and then we can attach it into our first placement. And then we're just going to grab our iron and we're going to press that into place. The next sections are these sections here because you want these to be underneath the border that goes around the hat. When cutting these sections, go slightly to the outside of the lines. Don't cut on the line and don't cut inside of the line. Go outside of the lines. At this point in time, don't stick anybody down. Leave it so we're just auditioning the pieces. As you can see on mine, I need to make a few changes. I need to just cut this brim a little bit shorter and I need to make this a little bit smaller too. So you're going to just place everybody on, you're going to see how everybody looks, you're going to audition it and make it look just right. So all the glue is off and once again I'm just going to make sure that everything is where I want it to be. So I just need to make some adjustments here. And just carefully move things. And I'm just going to make sure that that top section is going to be okay. I mean, I can always cut that smaller. I may have to cut that a bit smaller. So I'm going to try and keep everything where it is. Done in one foul swoop. I'm just going to take my iron and I'm going to stick it down. Now once this is done I won't be able to get it off, so you need to make sure that everything's where it needs to be before you attach it with the iron because this is glue. So the next section is this border piece, so I'm just going to score this here and I'm going to take the glue off. And if you notice on some parts I have made it a bit wider and other parts I've made them skinnier. It's all up to you when you're building this how you want it to look in the end. And I'm gonna fix this on here. There's no right way or wrong way of doing this design. It is totally up to you how you do it. Now I know that this is too big now, so I'm going to have to make this just a little bit smaller. I'm just going to take a bit off this corner here. So it's this corner here, so I'm just going to cut around. I'm going to see if that looks better. Might just take a bit more off. So you just design it as you go along and see what works and what doesn't, and what looks good and what doesn't. And I think that is about right. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to take the paper off and I'm going to stick this down. For my first design I did my stars all in the centre. For this one I think I'm just going to have them offset over to the left hand side. Now I have everybody adhered to my mug rug. Now I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and I'm going to create this like thread painted effect. So this painting effect that looks like it's done with looks like it's been drawn. So I'll show you on here. See how all this black here? This is just done with thread and it's done with free motion quilting, and I'll show you how to do that. This is my sewing machine. It's a Babylock Soprano and it's classed as a quilting machine. Comes with a great selection of quilting feet as well as this extension table, which is great when you're doing free motion work. So I'm going to get my machine all set up for free motion quilting. At the back of my machine is this, and what this does is it lowers the feed dogs. So I'm just going to move this over and it has now lowered my feed dogs. I have a 90-14 Microtex needle in my sewing machine and I have the open toe free motion quilting foot on my machine. And trust me, don't be shocked to see this black thread. It looks amazing, trust me on this. So put some black thread into your sewing machine and black thread in your bobbin. So I'm going to show you how to do the thread painting part next. So I have taken my speed level down to like halfway, and I'm going to obviously thread my needle. 1 second. You're going to select part of the hat. Now remember, I don't have anything on the back yet. This is just the batting and the front side. I don't have the backing on yet. So I am just going to start. I'm going to just pick an area. And you're basically just going to scribble. That's all you're doing. You're scribbling with a thread. And you're just going to move around. One thing I want you to realise as well is the messier it is, the better it looks. I'm not quite sure why, but it really does. Now you don't have to keep on like picking up your thread and like having to redo your thread. Just keep it down and just move to the next area. So I'm just going to do all this and I'm going to show you how easy it is. It's going to really come through really quickly. You don't have to be perfect. Don't try to be perfect. And I'm just going to move this around and I'm just going to go up and down here a bit. And I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to go around the brim. And I'm going to just move it around. Don't be scared to move things around. The more you go over it, the better it actually looks. So this is the hat complete. Let's move on to the stars. Now it's up to you. You can cut this off if you want to. You can leave it on and you can just start on to a star here. So just like we did the hat, we're just going to do lines all the way around the stars. It doesn't have to be inside. Make it as messy as you want it to look. There you go. And as you can see, I go over at least twice on around the star. This is what we have so far, and if you want to add any more embellishments to this, this is the time to do it. I think of adding some, I think I've got some star sequins that are going to look really cool on this. So I'm going to add some star sequins right here. So before you attach that back in, now is the time to add any embellishments. As you can see, I have now added some embellishments to this hat, and we are now going to free motion around this design. We're just going to do a basic meander. So I am going to now attach the backing to the top. So we're going to get that other section. This is what we call a quilt sandwich. So we have both layers together, and now we are going to do a basic meander. My fabric is like a taupey cream colour and my thread is yellow. So I am just going to do a meander just around here. So I am just going to continue around here and I'm going to do meander all the way around the blank spaces of this design. And here is that stage all done. So this is what it looks like. We are now going to attach the binding. For the next part, you want to raise your these dogs back up and change your foot to the regular J foot on your machine. This is my binding strip and I'm going to fold it in half and we are going to press into place. I'm going to do it all the way down the binding strip. I'm actually going to switch over from my J foot to my 1/4 inch foot with guide. These are brilliant. I can't recommend these highly enough. I use this all the time. Helps you keep a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to change my J foot out to my 1/4 inch foot with guide. You're going to want to leave an overhang and it's all on the raw edges, not on the folded side. So I'm going to attach the raw edges to the end here and I'm going to put it under my foot so it's a 1/4 inch and we'll stitch that into place. Don't sew all the way down, always leave like a 1/4 inch and then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to fold it back onto itself and then I'm going to put it back in the machine and start sewing. And then you'll have something like this. I already have a very thorough video on how to do binding, so I will link to that video for you guys so you can watch it. And basically you can go on and do machine binding on the back or you can hand stitch it. It's totally personal preference and up to you how you want to finish it off. So this here is the finished result. So you're gonna have to let me know which one you like best. I'm going to put them side by side. Do you like the one with the red binding or the one with the blue binding? I do like the fact that I added these embellishments, these stars. It looks kind of cool. So my free pattern, which will be in the link in the description down below, which will give you a link directly to my store on the page where you can directly download the actual document, that will remain free to you forever for as long as I have a website. And I enjoy reading your comments, so let me know if you would like a free pattern every single month. I hope you enjoy making the pattern up and let me know what you think. This is the first time I've ever offered a free pattern before, so let me know guys, do you like it? I make videos every single week, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for watching guys, bye!